podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You know the saying, stay hungry, stay humble.
Boxingvoice.com.
I'm humble in defeat, and I'm going to remain humble in victory. This is it, right?
Dazn Productions.
I just wanted to put on a great boxing masterclass and also show the sweet science of this lovely sport. Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
I'm prepared to the best of my capability, and I prayed I get the win. Look at it, like, I love Mike Tyson, how he came into the game on some different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It takes a crazy man to want to fight, you know what I mean, day in, day out. The hardcore sport, as you said, no silk shoes.
Ain't no other sight in the game can see the boxing boys.
Good morning, TBV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, all my Border Wars fan, hashtag Border Wars. We are back. It's Saturday morning, and we are 6 weeks out from Border Wars, February 29th. It's going down. It's going down. We're going to be in Dallas, Texas, the home of SOG Eric Cruz. And we're going to have some fantastic fights. Obviously, on the docket is our main event. We have the return of the WBC champion, WBA unified champ from Salvador, Texas' own Marvin the Tank Furman, 3-0. Is going to be taking on Iron Sal from California, 1-0. Sal has almost 2 years out of the ring in competition, but definitely doing his part in the gym. And we have updates on Marvin's training camp. You can check that out on Border Wars for sure. Shout out to Harry in the chat, all the way from India. What it do? Stanley in New Orleans. What it do? Shout out Big SuperMEX in Texas. What it do? Yes, we're rocking out. Team Texas 4 Horsemen, Big SuperMEX will also be in action. He's going to be taking on Morocco Joe in an all-out heavyweight affair. Morocco Joe, 0-0, new to the ecosystem. And Big SuperMEX claims he should be 1-0. He feels he beat Santiago in their last fight. And he wanted to correct the wrong like Deontay Wilder, but Santiago had to have some surgery, and he wasn't able to participate in Season 7 of Border Wars. So SuperMEX kept it moving and got the next best thing in Morocco Joe. Morocco Joe is new, once again, new to the ecosystem, and ready to make his debut, make his presence and name felt, man. Just like every Border Wars fighter out there, we have a lot of new participants this season, and it's only getting bigger. On the co-main event, probably the highest skilled fight on Border Wars till date, we'll have Mide, who, correct me if I'm wrong, is 7-1 plus a belt holder in the Queensberry League in the United Kingdom. And then you have Elias, who is about a 7-fight amateur here in the States. And he's going to be taking on Mide. Unlike many people who wanted to fight Mide and trying to, I guess, get some tune-ups and see where they were, this guy's coming straight from the top. He's coming straight for the top in Mide. And I think it's going to be one of the highest skilled level fights we've seen on Border Wars, without a doubt. Coach Mide from the UK and Elias Lioness from right here in the East Coast. We got a chat saying he who greets with fire is the screen name, and he says, when y'all bringing Border Wars back to the East Coast? I can't use my vacation time. Really, it all depends on the fighters. We get together, we decide where we want to go next, because it's like a bowling league, you know? It's like a big fraternity, right? So we decide where we want to go next. We would decide what's the most economical for us in terms of flights and B&B, you know, hotel arrangements. And most of that gets decided inside the very prestigious and exclusive Border Wars chat. Once you sign up to Border Wars and you are a $5 patron, you get included into this iMessage chat. iMessage is iPhone only, so if you don't have a iPhone, you can't sit with us. But if you do have an iPhone, I mean, you will be welcomed into the family. You will see the inner workings. You'll hear the arguments. You'll see the trolling. You will be entertained. Some people are not. Some people can only take a few days and they pull out. The chat isn't for everyone, but it is an exclusive chat. iMessage Border Wars chat only once you sign up and you are a $5 Border Wars participant on Patreon. Moving on with the card, we got another highly skilled fight. Donel outfight anyone Fernandez, who took on Ricky Swift Davis, who was a 10-fight amateur. Donel took him on at 154 and weighed in at 146 and still got the win. This time, he's moving up yet again in competition, taking on the former pro in JD from Houston, Texas. JD has sparred with, the likes of, actually he's been in the ring with Hatley. I even believe he said Charlo. I know Yandel Evans, just a bunch of names. And this is JD's, time to make a mark and kind of change perception. Perception is he got beat up in sparring by Lauren and then lost to Mide. He says he chose the wrong game plan. So this is his get back fight. He who greets fire with fire says, do I need experience? Wow, I'm 300 pounds. Okay. And you're 6'4". Well, we got SuperMEX. He's in the 300s and, he's working it down. It's funny that you say you're 300. I was watching his Mike Rashad video on how to lose 100 pounds. It's like a year-old vlog where he was training this dude to lose 100 pounds. And the dude was pretty heavy. And I could just think about the dude and look at him and say, damn, he looks like a Border Wars heavyweight. But, man, that dude, wow. He squats better than I do. I tell you that, man. That dude, Mike Rashad, was a fucking trainer. I was just impressed with his squats. I'm like, Jesus, he's going all the way down. But, yeah, you don't need any experience. We will try and match you best we can. You could check out any free content right here on youtube.com/Thaboxingvoice and just type in Border Wars. You could also check out all the behind-the-scenes footage, plus fights you never seen before, and sparring footage, training footage, all on Patreon at the $5 level, which is Border Wars. And there you'll see the level of experience, man. Listen, no one here is a pro. Well, actually, that's wrong. JD was a pro. And Mide semi-pro. But, we keep those guys matched up in their levels. This is going to be technically on paper. This fight for myself will be my step up. This will be my first fighter with an amateur background in amateur fights. So technically, the ecosystem has brought me here properly, right? They've built me up to this level of experience. So we try to do that with everybody. If you watch the, closely contested fights with Santiago, Dr. Mofongo, Eddie, all even fights. Even Robert the Genius, who was a walk-on, 5 days notice, even fight with Greg Morgan. Colin the Destroyer in Boxing Therapy. Very good fight and very even fight. We try to be as safe as possible. We're using 16-ounce gloves and we're using USA Boxing approved headgear. We have a referee in the ring, and there will be a medic on hand for this particular event. So, we're trying to dot all the I's and definitely cross all the T's in this one. Now we have on the undercard of Donel versus JD, which is already a triple header that is to die for. But then we're going to add on more entertainment. We have Robert the Genius, taking on Machine Gun Matt from Texas. That is the brother of Big SuperMEX. He's been training. He and SuperMEX have a trainer now for real. So they're being trained for boxing. They're not just training themselves. So we're looking to see improvement on both Garcia's brothers, but Rob will be taking on the younger brother in Machine Gun. Now, he was given that name because of the amount of punches he throws. Let's see, did he work on technique, and are those punches going to land their target and get Robert the Genius out of there? Now, if you haven't seen Robert the Genius, he just submitted some sparring footage, but the man is not afraid. He's only submitted sparring footage. There's more. There's about 3 sparring footages you can go and see on Robert the Genius. And the last one he submitted, he actually knocked down his sparring partner. So he is very excited, motivated to work. He's actually driving all the way from the Trenton and Philadelphia area to come train with me and Alex Doomsday and Elias today. So he's on the road, probably listening to the show already. Got his engines fired up to train for Machine Gun. On the undercard, we also will be bringing back Colin the Destroyer. He's 1-0, and he's going to be taking on Jordon, who's 0-0 from Fort Myers, Florida. And Jordan's going to be making his Border Wars debut. He was supposed to fight last season, and during training, or actually not training, he was playing basketball and tore his Achilles, I believe. So he's going to be making his debut for the second time, even though he didn't get the chance to the first time, right? And he's taking on Colin the Destroyer. You can see Colin's last fight on Border Wars right here on patreon.com/Border Wars. Listen, fantastic fight. I feel like Colin almost got knocked out by boxing therapy, was able to pull it away. A lot of drama in that fight. He struggled to make the 168-pound limit. You know, he had a slow camp. So we'll see what Colin brings this time, and can Jordon capitalize off of anything he's seen in Colin's last training camp with the struggle to make weight and just the fight in itself. Then on the undercard, we will also see, like I said, SuperMEX versus Morocco Joe. Southside Ducey versus Ambrose from Texas is said to be the fight that's happening. Just waiting on Southside Ducey, for a few details, and that fight should be taking place in the 160-pound division. Southside Ducey, our WBC champ. Ambrose from Texas, jumping up, stepping up to become the voluntary, and see, can he snatch those belts that belt from Southside Ducey. Also, like I said, you got myself and Eddie. On paper, in my mind, I'm stepping up. You know, Eddie has been under the lights. He's fought 5 amateur fights. A few years, not a few years ago, it was a bunch of years ago, but, he's been able to do that, compete on the high level, not Border Wars, So, I'm looking at him as the most experienced fighter. No one else that I fought had amateur fights. So, I'll be taking on Eddie Bola de Grasa from Las Vegas. And then we'll have Chris Webber, who's going to be taking on Doomsday Lioness in the heavyweight division. Chris Webber, I believe, is somewhere in Kansas, and he's going to be taking on Doomsday. And, and Doomsday, Chris, man, you might be, the favorite in this fight. Doomsday might have hurt his hand yesterday. We'll see how bad it is. I know it's not a fracture or broken, hopefully, right? So far, so good. But we'll see just how much he can use it, or is he going to be a one-handed fighter in your fight, right? Then we have Serge Trujillo. He's going to be taking on Chris Vega. Chris Vega is a serviceman. I believe he is a Marine. And he had signed up last season for season 6. He was going to come out to New Jersey, and, it just didn't work out. He was called back to service, and now he's out. So he's signed up again, and he's ready to rock and roll. And Serge is, a guy that's been, now training for about 5 to 6 months. He looks to be in phenomenal shape, and he has about 2 months of a nonstop sparring experience where he's sparring 6 rounds. So these two guys, they have never competed, but they both have the same level of fitness, right? They've been in the gym as long as, one another. So both guys seem to have a good tank. We'll see who has better technique and can pull away the win. What else do we have? Who else am I leaving out? Because there are so many fights. I mean, for sure, we don't have a fight for Jose. Jose could be possibly frozen out. He waited and, played games with his matchmaking, and now here we are almost 6 weeks out on Monday, and no opponent for Jose. So I'm hearing that he might just be commentating. He'll fly in just to commentate. I know there were some rumblings about possibly him fighting Anthony Edwards from Queen City, the Cobra. But I know that the Cobra has said he had wanted collateral. He didn't, quite believe that he just didn't want to train without it being for sure, I guess. So right now, no fights for Ant, no fights for Jose, and I think that's about it. I think everyone else has a fight. I'm actually pulling up the spreadsheet. We also should be giving out awards. We'll be reading out the winners, and on Fight Night, we'll be giving out these awards for 2019's nominees and award winners. So yeah, man, this is going to be the first season we give out awards, first season that we even get vote for awards. So, Border Wars slowly growing, getting bigger and better each time. And it's just that. It's one step at a time, one step at a time, and these things will work themselves out. Just looking for Mr. Klein here so I can get this email opened up. All right, here goes the docs. Let's see how this looks. So, damn, this is not the one I'm looking for. All right, well, let me text him to resend me the finalized fights doc, and give me 1 second, quick interlude.
You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me.
You are now tuned into the Boxing Voice Radio. Join us every Thursday and Sunday, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Thaboxingvoice.com.
All right. So I put the text out. We should be getting that full fight sheet right now. And make sure I'm not leaving anyone off the card because we do have a lot of new signups. So I don't want to leave anyone out purposely, right? So what we will do is, until I get that document, we'll move on to our awards and nominees, give you all those details. I actually just got the doc pulling it up. So it looks like so far we got 10 fights, and like I said, we have Marvin the Tank taking on Iron Sal. If all goes well, Ambrose and Southside Ducey. We have Mide and Elias, Donel and JD, SuperMEX and Morocco Joe. We have Chris Vega taking on Serge Trujillo. Colin the Destroyer taking on Jordon in Fort Myers. Matt in Texas taking on Robert the Genius. Ness, myself taking on Eddie from Dallas and Doomy from Weber. All right, so I had everybody. I didn't leave anyone out. Now, fighters that don't have fights are Jose, and Anthony, but they also did not sign up. Fighters that are available are for sure from Texas, but I didn't want him to sign up unless I can get him a fight for sure, because no sense in, taking your non-refundable money, right? And we're still waiting on Fern Gully, who wants to fight at 54 or 47. Lauren is busy, so if he's not getting a Southside Ducey rematch, I don't think he's coming back. And Computer Program had reached out, said he was going to sign up, and we haven't heard back from him. So we got about 6 people that we can make 3 more fights with if they decided to. But if not, we got a 10-fight card. That is beautiful in itself. That's something that's never been done here on Border Wars. And I'm very grateful to all the signups, very grateful to all the people that continue to listen to the Border Wars podcast and help it grow. Just yesterday, we had Deontay Wilder on the show, and he continues to promise that he will show up to one. I rather bring it to him. We've already gotten the clearance from him and from the gym owner. I just rather do a Border Wars in Alabama. But we'll get to that. You know what I mean? There's 51 states, and we this is only our 7th card, so we got about a couple of more locations to go to before we hit every 51 state, right? But our first award is going to be the 2019 Border Wars Newcomer of the Year. Now, there were 4 nominees. Robert the Genius, he's a former co-host. Southside Ducey from Kansas City, Missouri, the current 160-pound WBC champion. Colin the Destroyer from San Francisco, and Donel Fernandez from Florida, fighting out of Atlanta right now. 4 good names, 4 good new fighters into the Border Wars ecosystem. These 4 guys all started last season, and these 4 guys should all be returning. They all have fights. So that right there in itself is a blessing, and I believe a testament to what it is that we're doing here at Border Wars, how much the fighters like it, and how safe it is that you have 4 people that signed up, 4 people are coming back. Now, there could only be one. There could only be one champion, and that is Southside Ducey, the WBC champ. He won with 73% of the Patreons voting on him to be the newcomer of 2019 Border Wars. So if Southside Ducey shows up, he should be getting a medal just for being the newcomer, outside of already having his prestigious WBC title in the 160-pound division. Then our next award is Border Wars 2019 Most Improved Fighter. Most Improved Fighter of the Border Wars ecosystem. We have Santiago, who I believe is a 4-fight veteran in Border Wars. 4-fight veteran in Border Wars. If not a 3-fight. But that's still a testament in itself. Again, showing that the people that join this keep coming back. So there was 4 nominees for Most Improved Fighter of 2019 in Border Wars, and the nominees was Santiago, who is Salvadorian and Argentinian. We have Marvin, the unified WBC, WBA champ, who's 3-0 and from Salvador. Myself, the IBF champion, 3-0 from New Jersey and the Dominican Republic. And Eric Cruz from Texas, also from, I believe, Salvador as well, if not Honduras. No, definitely Salvador, not Honduras. So it's a tie. Me and Eric are not in the running. We got the least amount of votes, but Marvin is tied with Santiago. So we'll probably give them both an awards. And I'm going to be honest, I'm very happy that people voted for Santiago because they're absolutely right. The boy has showed a tremendous amount of improvement. His skill level has gotten up, and every single fight he's had has been a candidate for Fight of the Year. And, has just been a barn burner. We've always loved the fight. So happy to report that we got 2 winners for Most Improved, but sadly, I am not one of them. Thank you for not noticing my improvements. That being said, we'll get on to the next one. We have Border Wars 2019 Round of the Year. Border Wars 2019 Round of the Year. And we have 4 nominees for this particular category as well. The first one being SuperMEX from Texas versus Santiago, round number 2. Round number 2. Then we have Ness, myself, the IBF champion, versus Gus the Bus, round number 1. Round number 1. Then we got Southside Ducey, the WBC champ, versus Lauren, a.k.a. Maserati Blanco, round number 3. And Gil versus Jemmy, Border Wars, round number 1. 4 nominees, but there can only be one, and it was a landslide as Southside Ducey produced the first ever clean knockout where he put Lauren to sleep, unfortunately. So, Ducey runs away now with 2 awards, Newcomer of the Year and Round of the Year. So congratulations to Southside Ducey cleaning fucking house here. You know what I mean? We got Border Wars 2019 Fighter of the Year. 2019 Fighter of the Year. And just like most categories, this one, I believe, it was only 4 nominees. We have Donel Fernandez. I'll fight anyone, right? Up and coming, newcomer to the ecosystem. I took him with us to Alabama, and he got to spar in Dongo. His first fight was with Ricky Swift, a 10 amateur veteran, and now he's taking on JD in Texas, the former pro, and that was one of your nominees. Jose El Loco Sands, I have no clue how this happened. I feel like maybe there was some sort of bribery to get him on the list. But yeah, Jose from Canada somehow made it to Fighter of the Year for 2019, only with 1 fight on his 2019 resume. Then we have Marvin the Tank Furman, unified WBC, WBA champ, and Southside Ducey, the WBC 160-pound champ. All 4 nominees for 2019 Fighter of the Year, and Marvin ran away with Fighter of the Year. So now Marvin gets Most Improved and also gets Fighter of the Year. So he and Southside Ducey seem to be battling it out for who's going to win the most awards for 2019 Border Wars. We have a final category of 2019 Fight of the Year. 2019 Fight of the Year. And looks like we got 4 categories where we have Anthony Edwards, the Queen City Cobra, who took on Eric Cruz in New Jersey. We have SuperMEX, Super Mexicano, who took on Santiago. And we have Mofongo versus Santiago, also as a nomination. And Boxing Therapy versus Colin the Destroyer. Those are your 4 nominees for Fight of the Year. Fight of the Year. And Fight of the Year winner goes to SuperMEX versus Santiago. Shout out to Santiago. Like I said, every single season that he has fought, people have said that his fight was Fight of the Year. Shout out to SuperMEX. Truly a star in the making in Border Wars. The minute he has, come under the fold of the TBV family, his star continues to shine. Everyone was calling him out. He became the Willy Wonka ticket, and statistically speaking and analytically, he does better numbers than most of our Border Wars participants. So he's right up there at the top. And, this guy started his Border Wars journey at 336 pounds. and he's now down way below 318 pounds. And he's going to continue to go down, and that's what it's all about. So very happy to see he and Santiago, two guys that definitely are dedicated to Border Wars and TBV, receive an award for their participation for such a fantastic fight, because people talk about it all the time. We use it on our, promo because they let hands go. That's just the bottom line. They let hands go. So those are your awards and your nominees. And yeah, man, we will be giving these guys a award on fight night. And just want to thank everybody that participated. All right, so I'm going to check out these comments. Let's see. They're just asking SuperMEX how's training going. We got JD said laugh out loud, said beat up by Lauren and sparring. Hilarious. Hey, man, not my fault. You got some get back to get. Let's see. Y'all got an award for the most Wolf tickets sold. Oh, no, we don't. And Bill Works, sign up, man. We won't even repeat your message. We get too many of those type of messages. Sign up. We'll take you serious once you do that. But yeah, man, listen, very excited for this Border Wars. Very excited. Cannot wait. I believe we are 6 weeks out. And we're only getting closer to the date, and it's only going to get better. 6 to 7, I guess it could be considered 7, right? Let me see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess that is 7 because it's the 29th. 6 weeks out would be Wilder on the 22nd. Let me go ahead and change that up. See, you got time right there for all you fatties, man. See, I started already. I'm 2 weeks in. I'm 4 strength and conditioning sessions in. I do 2 a week. Just strength and conditioning. Just weights and agility. So I'm 4 strength and conditioning workouts in. I'm starting to see the tone. I'm starting to feel tighter. I've got numerous rounds of pad work in, and I got a couple of rounds of sparring in. It's a little more difficult to get sparring. Not everybody is my height. It's funny. I was watching tape yesterday of this heavyweight called Alexander Teslenko, and he was fighting a 5'11" heavyweight, and on that undercard was Stephen Big Shot Shaw, another 6'4" heavyweight fighting another 5'10" heavyweight. And it just hit me. It's just like there's not a lot of heavyweights in the world. Most of them end up in basketball or football. So it's always going to be difficult to see 2 6-something. Even though I got lucky, my first 3 fights were with 6 feet dudes, 6'1", 6'3", and I believe 6'4", right? Hasil was about the tallest. Gus was 6'3". Shiloh, man, I got 130 pounder for you. How much experience you got? You know what I mean? Hit me up on IG because I don't want you to sign up unless my other 130 is for sure. But I believe he's for sure. He's just waiting for me to get him something, So yeah, definitely hit me up on IG. Let's see what we can get done for you. And let's get it going. But yeah, man, if you guys want to call in, you have any questions, if there's any fighters out there, I know it's a little earlier than usual, but we usually do Border Wars at 10 o'clock Eastern. But obviously, I'm in camp. I got Robert the Genius, like I said, coming in from Philadelphia, so he's already on the highway. We're all going to the gym, so we've been pushing Border War shows an hour earlier. So it sucks for the West Coast people. Is only 6 a.m. over there, but at least you got something to wake up to. You got something to play back while you can just, drink your coffee and chill. Yes, sir, man. But listen, we always have fights that pull out or, things don't go right. But for the most part, we end up having, very good events and amazing camaraderie. We build relationships. Everyone has everyone's number. Everyone is accessible to everyone. It really becomes a family. And some people don't fit in that family and they get kicked out or we separate ourselves. Everyone, isn't meant to be in the fold, unfortunately. But if you have tough skin, if you can take it as well as you can dish it, then you're good. And if you can ignore it, then you're also good. The chat, like I told you, it's an exclusive, prestigious, official place to be. It's just not meant for everyone. You know what I mean? But yes, it looks like we got our other heavyweight on the card from Texas, Big Super Mexicano.
Boxingvoice.com. Oloki, you are next, my friend. Por eso lo vuelvo a repetir. La era del Canelo es la mejor porque peleó con los mejores. La suerte es para los mediocres, my friend.
Boxingvoice.com.
Hey, yo, good morning, Nash. How are you, brother?
Good morning, champ. I'm good, brother. 7 weeks out. 7 weeks out.
Oh, yeah, man. Camp is in the middle of camp. It's just getting going, man. Finna get the peak performance. First off, I want to thank everybody who voted. Shout out to everybody who was nominated. And congratulate my opponent, Santiago, Fight of the Year. We put on a hell of a performance back in September, man. I'm glad people recognize that, man. So shout out to him on that most improved. Shout out to the Tank, Fighter of the Year, Southside Ducey. I just want to say this, man. From that Border Awards in Jersey, everybody who stayed at that B&B, we swept the awards. Tank wins 2. We got 1, and then Southside Ducey was out there with us, and he took 2. So some good luck was in that B&B that night.
Yo, man, so talk to us, brother. I mean, I know that you changed things up for this fight, plus you're fighting a new opponent. And any anxiety, and I don't mean it in the AJ sense. I mean, look, all amateurs face it. They don't know who they're going to face till they show up for fight night. And then, for you kind of at least got to look at your guy, Morocco Joe, but you don't know him.
No, not really. It's just kind of how it folds. I just look at it as that's the part of the process. Santiago had to go through the same thing with me. So all I can do really is focus on what I do good, make sure I have more than just a plan A coming into the fight, and trade my ass off, man. I'm a firm believer that the only person that can the quickest way to lose a fight is in training. If you're not going to put 100% in, if you're not going to be committed to working every day, to doing some kind of running, some kind of conditioning, to eating better, you already lost the fight. So, obviously, we're not sure what he's going to present. He's obviously a big boy. I think he looks like he might be pretty heavy-handed, but we're working to work through that, and I'm coming for that Most Improved Fighter award next year. I feel like that's something that I can easily attain.
Nah, man, definitely. So how are you meshing with your coach, and just what are some of the differences between your first training camp on Border Wars when you faced Santiago and, this first 2 weeks of training camp under the tutelage of a real trainer?
It's a lot, man. Obviously, he told me, me being as big as I am now, not to try to kill myself all at once. But he also doesn't let me slow down, doesn't let me quit, keeps me going, persistent. I'm the type of guy, I need a coach. I need someone, I'll be honest, man, in my last camp, when I look at it, man, when I got tired, I was like, okay, that's enough for today. And that may have been what cost me to ultimately get the decision I felt like I wanted, was because I slowed down in a lot of moments where I could have picked it up. Here, when I'm slowing down, he's still motivating me to keep pushing, and you notice the difference. First few days I was pretty sore. But now I'm kind of starting to feel better. I don't know, man. At first, I was kind of dreading actually having to do this, but I'm liking going working out now. Like I said, I like being in a team atmosphere, so where you got teammates there that are with you, showing you how to throw punches right, showing you what mistakes you're making and where to work on them, as opposed to just coming in shape and being ready to throw hands and take punches. You know, where everybody loves Arturo Gotti, man, but I don't want to be Arturo Gotti of Border Wars. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. So, what would you say? Like, what was the most, I guess, shocking thing that your trainer has showed you? It's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting for him to say that.
Just how to turn over my punches and actually be able to throw my punches. I've learned he's the way he's taught me how to throw my punches. I can actually let off punches a little bit faster and learn how to slip. You know what I mean? Learning how to do just move my head. It's not as hard as some people may think, but if you don't create the habit of doing it, you know, and not overdoing it, you know what I mean? Not selling where you're moving. Because the big thing he taught me is you can move your head, but if I already know where your head's going to, I can change your direction and meet you there. So I think the head moving is probably the biggest thing.
Nah, for sure, man. And so you said that it's a team atmosphere. So, like, are you guys doing cardio together, and how's that looking?
Yeah, the first hour is all cardio. You know, like I said, that gym has a mixture of MMA and boxing. So everybody gets together on cardio. Then, you know, you got after that full hour, which is that cardio is insane cardio. The warm-up was a lot, you know, and
Talk to us. Walk us through it. Walk us through what it is that you're doing. And, you know, last time you weight checked, you were 318. You said you started at 336, right?
No, when I first started my very first training camp, I was at 360 pounds.
360?
Yeah, that was what I started at in on my birthday. I weighed in 360, and my birthday is 4th of July, so we've come a ways. But no, as far as here, it's time sprint.
Damn, so you lost like 52 pounds already.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I could have lost more, but, you know, sometimes you just, you know, after the fight, after Border Wars, you kind of take a week. First, you're going to take a week off, then you take 2. So, but, you know, I think we made good progress from now since then.
For sure, man. But talk to me, because you're also a promoter. You co-promote. I mean, you promote your brother. So, you know, talk to us about him and his fight, because, you know, his opponent is on his way over here to Jersey to get some training in. So how's your brother looking? And, you know, what are you expecting from him? And from, you know, will he make any nominations for Border Wars 2020, you know, Fight of the Year awards or End awards?
Yeah, look, when it comes to the machine gun, let me tell you something right now. He's going to be on that list of nominees next year of most improved fighter. But I feel like he's got a good shot. If things go the way I think they can for him, to be fighter of the year. Obviously, he's in his 168 tournament. Robert the Genius, man, he's entertaining, man, and I love the guy. You know, I feel bad that we got to beat him, but it's part of the plan, man. I don't think he realizes what, you know, the motivation Matt has and the desire. You know, he tends to think Matt's a smaller guy, and I, you know, I kind of don't see, you know, I see he's smaller than when we first saw him, Matt, in the ring, but he's toning up now. He's getting faster. His punches are a lot sharper, and he's grinding. I mean, Matt is in there. You know, he went balls deep, just, you know, like I would expect. I think Rob may have been off more than he can chew, and all I got to say is we're not Greg Morgan. Yeah, you retired Greg Morgan, but remember, we retired Jimmy without ever stepping in the ring. There's a lot of improvements, especially under the tutelage of the new coach. So, obviously, I don't expect Rob to back down. He's got a lot of dog in him, but sometimes you got to put dogs to sleep, man. And you know, Rob had a good debut, but now it's time to pop the bubble.
Nah, man. So you're gonna tell me that you guys didn't, I don't know, rethink the game plan once he dropped that footage of how aggressive he is in sparring and getting a knockdown?
Well, first off, he pushed the kid down, and let's clear that up. I rewatched that. That was a push. And secondly, if you listen to the footage, the coach is telling the guy, "Hey, you know, I'm not. You need to learn how to fight out of this. I'm not gonna put. You know, I'm not gonna be here to save you. Your dad's gonna save you." What that tells me is they're trying to get the fear out of this other kid, and that Rob was safe. You know, Rob's obviously aggressive, but he's a safe opponent, man. Rob is not getting in there with that guy or a guy like Greg Morgan. No disrespect to those guys, but Matt doesn't have that mentality. Matt's not afraid to get in there and exchange. Matt's not afraid to bite down when it gets tough. We've proven that. And we're just adding a lot of better technique and skill. I think Matt's going to be a lot stronger than Rob's expecting. And like I said, I tell you, the genius, for his name being the genius, he might have made a bad decision there.
So when you say stronger, why do you consider Matt to come in stronger than what we think? And also, what is he doing that you think he's building strength?
You know, Matt's obviously, he's lost the weight, but now, you know, the weight job journey was over. Now he's working on toning it up, conditioning, getting, obviously, working out and doing some strength and conditioning. And Matt's in there with bigger guys, you know, guys that are weighing 200, you know, so he's in there with guys that are trying to muscle him, trying to come aggressive, and learning how to handle his own, on top of building physical strength. You know, and Ring Walk Danny will tell you, even back then, that left hook is a lot harder than people might think. You know, Danny himself told us he was buzzing that second round, and if Matt would have just pushed on him, he might have could have got him out of there. You know, Matt just failed to pull the trigger, which is all things that we have, you know, with a trainer, you learn how to build the stamina and work on and know when to keep going, when to be smart.
For sure. Listen, so what fight are you looking forward to outside of your own?
Outside of my own, obviously, I'm looking forward to my brothers because I have a vested interest. I would love for my brother to show that improvement. Rob too. Rob's a great guy. He's a funny guy. Tad bit racist. No, I'm playing. But no, you know, I look forward to that. Marvin and Sal, man. You know, I like Sal. Obviously, I'm going for Marvin. Obviously, I believe Marvin is the better fighter. He's going to be the bigger fighter, and I think that's going to play a difference. But Sal has something that I like. It's self-belief. You know, it reminds me of myself. It don't matter what nobody else says to you. You believe that you're the best, and you're working hard to prove that. And I like that in every fighter. And Marvin is a beast. You know, they call him the tank for a reason. And I feel like he didn't work so hard to get those belts just to let him go. I favor Marvin. Obviously, that's my stablemate, and you know, I just think that's going to be a great fight. I think we have a perfect main event for this, and I'm also looking forward to all the fights. The style matchup between you and Eddie is something that's obviously interesting. You know, I'm like a lot of people. I feel like if Eddie gets in tip-top shape, man, this could be his night. And but honestly, and it's because I don't think we see a lot of these guys. Sergey Chris Vega is not going to be my pick for sleeper for fight of the night. These guys are in great shape. Chris Vega's in great shape. Serge looks to be in great shape, and I think they're going to mesh well and, you know, get it on Mexican style. Yo.
Quick. One moment, Joe.
Oh, no, you're good. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the Boxing Voice, though. Make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Go check out the Wilder video.
Let me interrupt you there, Joseph. One moment. We got Coach Anthony live on the show. Coach Anthony has his own YouTube channel here on youtube.com/Coach Anthony, where he teaches phenomenal boxing tips. And Coach Anthony, you and I have spoken, you know, time and time again. But at one time, I think it was for the Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, maybe media tours, where I told you what it was that we were doing with this Border War series, how we were getting our listeners and the callers to actually get in the ring instead of being those guys saying, man, Tevin Farmer should have he should have knocked Jonah Carl out. we get those guys in the ring. So I wanted to get you on because this is your expertise. You continuously show novice fighters how to fight with your tutorial videos. So I wanted to obviously, do a little cross promotion and let my listeners know about you, because for last series, I definitely shared your videos with a lot of the Border Wars community, and they were blown away. I mean, I just watched your video with Jalil, working on the 1-2s and the slip in, and I mean, I've been a fan. So we just wanted to get you on, see if anyone had any questions. We actually have some questions specifically for you from the public. But now that I said that mouthful, Happy New Year. How are you? And thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the love and support. Happy New Year.
All right, so I guess if we could just start off by you telling us what made you take to YouTube to do tutorial and instructional videos for people. Why not keep that secret in your gym to kind of only for your fighters?
Well, I kind of seen a need for it because I've seen other instructors on the internet kind of doing it, but I just felt like maybe some of the other stuff that I was seeing, I wasn't totally satisfied with. So I just felt like it was a lane and something that was needed for YouTube. I mean, people are already doing it. So I always said to myself, it would be really cool if like a top trainer, like a Freddie Roach or, anybody considers a top trainer would, take the initiative to go ahead and make a channel like that. But since none of them are doing it, I figured, through the experience I have being around some of the best fighters in the world on a day-to-day basis, currently working with world champions and top professionals, that it would be a good lane for myself. And, I like to teach. Personally, sometimes I prefer to teach in front of a lens because it allows me to be free, allows me to be myself with no interruptions, and then it just lets the people take it however they want to take it. So, I personally truly enjoy it, man. It's one of my favorite things that I'm doing at the moment.
Perfect. So how'd you get your start? Because you seem younger than me. I mean, physically you look like a young guy, but you obviously are working with world champions. You have this popular channel, and you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 36 years old. I had my first amateur boxing match when I was 16, so you could say I've been involved with boxing for 20 years. I've been coaching now for 10. I own my own facility in New Jersey, and, that's where I began coaching. I began coaching regular people, amateurs and stuff like that when I opened my business because, I didn't want to hire a trainer considering that I already had enough experience to, run the classes myself. But then what ended up happening was, since I'm right outside of Philadelphia, a lot of the Philadelphia fighters started to see me on the internet holding mitts and doing things of that sort, and they started to come to me and say, hey, man, we really like your mitt work. Would you start working with me? And I had opportunities. I work with guys like Hank Lundy, Outlaw, Eric Hunter, who are local Philadelphia fighters who both fought for world titles. And, that gave me my break. And then I went ahead and started working with, like King Mo, which is a Bellator fighter who was a top superstar at the time. And now I'm with, obviously, world champion Tevin Farmer and helping out all the other professionals here in this stable. So, it all started with me just marketing myself on the internet and a lot of the fighters seeing that I was in the area. And then, it just took off from there.
Man, that's beautiful, man. The internet is powerful. It definitely spawned a generation of entrepreneurs. Happy to see that you took the bull by the horns and made a career from it. I want to ask, since you said Philadelphia area and we did get to see Jerron Boots Ennis yesterday, have you ever held the pads for Ennis, and what did you think of his performance yesterday night?
I've never had the pleasure of holding the pads for Ennis, but that kid is a phenomenal fighter. He looked amazing. He did throw a lot of punches in the first round. I mean, understandably, he probably thought he was going to get an early stoppage. Other than him having to settle down slightly so he doesn't gas himself out when he steps up in class with some of the top opposition, I mean, I really just see a all-around world-class fighter. The kid has all the tools, man. He could bang, he could box, he can go to the body well. He has phenomenal defense. You're looking at a serious heavy hitter in the welterweight division.
So we got a question from the public, but I'm sure you don't know any heavyweights in the series yet. But Terrell is he's from New Mexico, and he's gonna sign up to Border Wars, and he wanted to know who was your favorite Border Wars fighter to work with, but you haven't done that yet. But we're gonna get him in there with me, so I could be his favorite. But I wanted to give him a shout out. I wanted to give him a shout out because he at least took the time to ask you a question. The next one is from Israel Weber, and that's coming from, I believe, Kansas. He says, I'm going to heavyweight. My walk around is 215. I think training could put me down into the low 200s. Should I try to maintain my normal weight or drop down naturally? Thanks.
It's just depending on how your nutrition is now. If you know there's room for improvement in your nutrition, and you know that there's flaws there. Maybe you're not eating properly. Maybe you're not doing things properly, and you know that if you was to just tighten up, you can get the weight off. I definitely consider getting the weight down, because 215 is close enough to 201, which is heavyweight. Anything above that is super heavyweight. And I currently work with a kid who just qualified to make the Olympic team, and he's a 201 fighter, and he would walk around at 205, even 210, me in between, when he hadn't have nothing coming up. But once we locked in, we get that weight down to 201. So if you're 215 but you have body fat, and you know that you can get the weight down, I definitely focus on getting that weight down. Depending on how much time you have in between shows would determine how aggressive you want to bring the weight down. But if you have time, then I wouldn't rush it. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to try to rush yourself. But if you don't have a lot of time, then you may have to take a little bit more aggressive measures. But yeah, definitely I wouldn't stay at 215, because you can always get down to 201. Now, if you're a professional, that's a different story. But this is me speaking as an amateur. As an amateur boxer, I'd consider getting down to 201 without a doubt.
Now, all these guys, their questions are coming from a beyond amateur level. They're novice, never done it. Israel Weber is 38 years old. Terrell is younger, definitely, but Israel is 38. So these are, like I said, these are guys that we're getting off the couch, that they've talked so much, or they've wanted to try it and haven't tried it, and they see that the matchmaking is fairly well, so they're gaining the courage to step up to the plate and get in some sort of level of competition. But my own personal question is this heavyweight that you have, how young is he? And does age matter or determine whether or not you make your heavyweights run miles?
Honestly, my heavyweight's young, man. He's he's 19 years old, so he's a young kid, so it's definitely a different situation. And yes, he does run. As you're older, you may consider not wanting to run unless you like to run and you don't have any injuries. But there's other ways to get the weight down. You could do the elliptical, you could do the Stairmaster, you could do anything that's going to be low impact. You could do the rower machine. The row machine is a good machine as well that can get your heart rate up, similar to doing like sprints or whatnot. So if you're looking to get your heart rate up, you could do that on the elliptical, or you could do that on the rower. You can also do other forms of conditioning like battle ropes and jump rope, and hitting the heavy bag for conditioning, like non-stop punches that are going to raise and elevate your heart rate. So there's other ways to get the cardio. You don't have to run. Running isn't necessary. But if you enjoy running, there's nothing like good old-fashioned running. And, if you're older in age, like I said, when it comes to the weight, I would just look at my body and give myself an honest assessment and say, is there room for improvement? If there is room for improvement, then I would definitely tighten up on the nutrition and just allow my body to take its course, and I wouldn't worry so much about the weight, because, if it's not, any weight limitations or anything like that.
Now, we get a lot of heavyweights. Obviously, America is producing heavyweights that are smaller. We call them chubby weights, 5'10" guys. They're 260, 280. We got one dude signed up 360 pounds. Thank God he's now at 318 or less and still training, has another 7 weeks to go. But what do you recommend for those types of guys with those types of numbers? You know, in the low sixes, you like 5'8s, 5'7s. We got guys 5'7", 268. Like, what do you recommend to get the weight down where you're not just in fat cap, you can still have fun boxing and still lose the weight?
Man, I would, it's really the same thing, man. Everybody, the weight loss is very similar. For no matter how tall you are, 260 at 5'8", obviously you're pretty small for that kind of weight. So, that's a difficult one because it seems like these guys are already competing in the tournament that you got going on, or the.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know how to call it, but
yeah, they sign up to compete, but obviously we want to focus on their weight loss. That's why we're trying to seek out, the most professional help. Like, what's the safest way for a guy with those sort of statistics to get off some of that weight?
The best thing you can do, man, and my best advice is to start to eliminate as many things as you can that are no good for your diet. I would start there. You know what I'm saying? I would start off with eliminating, the sodas, the junk food and stuff like that. And then once you start to eliminate that and your body takes its natural course, you're not drinking too many sugary fluids. You're drinking a lot of water. You're trying to eat as much healthy food as possible. You know what I mean? Like, now when I say healthy food, I mean more so like home cooked food, real food. Even if you're eating rice and you're eating chicken and you're eating beef and you're eating vegetables and fruits, that's much better than eating the processed stuff. So if you can get yourself kind of on just eating real food, trying to eliminate too many sugary drinks and keeping it mostly water, let your body take its course from there. Once you start to really lock into your nutrition and really start to really understand your body, and maybe you can incorporate some calorie counting and macros, which isn't really hard to do. A lot of that information is already on the internet on how to count calories, how to count your macros. It sounds complicated to somebody who's never done it, but it's really not that complicated. I'd look into that. But for the most part, I would just eliminate the bullshit, part of my French. And I would just train every day, I would keep it as simple as possible at that in the beginning,
All right, we got.
Because what happens is What happens is when you try to do it too strict, or you try to do it to a point where it's too calculated, a lot of times guys get discouraged and then they fall off the wagon.
For sure, man. Thank you for that. We got another one from Teddy B in Midwest. He says, which is partially answered already, says, do you have any up-and-coming heavyweights that you're looking to train? And also, thank you for the YouTube channel. Gives us drills, but also helps us know what we're watching in boxing.
Oh, well, thanks for the love. And as you can see, I'm working with a kid now who's an amateur. He's a heavyweight, and that's really all I have right now. I always got in my back pocket Fast Eddie Chambers, who says he's not retired, who obviously was a smaller heavyweight as well. He's walking around 210, and he's still open and willing to compete and has a phenomenal record and still a pretty sharp guy. So, but other than that, not really. Right now, I'm just focusing on Tevin and my YouTube channel and some of my amateur fighters that I'm working with.
All right, the next one is from Robert the Genius, who says, what was your original goal with your YouTube videos? And what is the next step with your channel? Congrats on all your success. I live near you in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Honestly, I think I'm kind of doing what my original goal was, and that was just, teaching boxing from my lens, from my point of view, because you could talk to 100 trainers and they're all going to give you a different opinion. I'm guaranteeing you that right now there's a few trainers out there that are probably watching my channel saying, I would do it differently, or that don't work, So, there's always going to be difference of opinions and different and stuff like that. So what I'm doing is teaching it from my view, my lens, through my experience, which I truly feel is, a very a solid breakdown. And also, I'm just looking to grow and evolve. So whatever that is, if I see something that needs to be done on my channel that's boxing related, I'm definitely open to do it. And I'm constantly trying to keep up with what YouTube got and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm really enjoying the teaching lane. That's really my lane, and I want to stay there for right now.
Bet. We got another one from Info Joe in California that says, "What up, coach? Like all your videos, very informative. How do you know when a fighter has peaked, and do you recommend no sex weeks leading up to the fight, or is that a myth?"
You know, they did a study that proved that was a myth, but at the same time, I like it because what it does is when you take things away from a fighter, you give a pit bull. You know, when you train a pit bull and you get a pit bull, you want to make a pit bull an aggressive dog. You know, you do certain things to it, like maybe you don't feed it as much, or maybe you keep it locked away from people and stuff like that. And then after a while, they become a little bit meaner. It's kind of the same thing with a human being. You know, if you take sex away, if you take away the pleasures of life, it makes you aggressive. It makes you want to fight. It makes you stressed out. And a level of stress and aggression is needed for a fighter. Think about anybody who you bump into in the street who's having a rough day. Maybe you have road rage or something like that, and that person curses you out, and they got that look of a demon in their eye, like they want to kill you. They're having a rough day. It really has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with something that's going on in their life, and then they're taking it out on you. And that's something you kind of want in a fighter. You want them to take out that rage on their opponent, you know, so to speak, as violent as that sounds. So I think that, you know, taking away sex and taking away certain pleasures from a fighter will definitely make a fighter a little bit meaner. And, you know, being mean as a fighter isn't a bad thing. So, yeah, I think it's good to take sex away. Do I think it's a myth? It might be, but hey, man, I'd still do it.
So, Coach, another personal question of my own before we get to the last one from the people is, you know, for novice fighters, like, you know, how do they get over that anxiety when stepping in the ring with someone, whether it be sparring or competition, you know, that sometimes they just get so exhausted without really doing anything?
Man, that just comes with experience, man. You know, that's something that, you know, I can't really give you a one-step answer other than you have to continuously do it. That's why sparring is so important. You constantly spar. You constantly do things day in and day out until they become natural. You know, it's no different than anything else in life that might have gave you anxiety at some point or another. I used to hate getting on a computer and uploading YouTube posts because I didn't know how to use YouTube. I didn't know how to use a computer. I used to be like, fuck this, I don't want to do it. And now it's like I'm a little bit more comfortable with it. I can kind of just open up my laptop, upload a video, and it's not a problem. You got other people who fear talking in front of crowds, you know, but then you do it a bunch of times, you get used to it. So, you know, it's just something that you just have to continuously do. You can't watch my YouTube videos every day and expect to be able to do it. You actually got to get into the paint. You got to get in there. You got to, you know, put in the work. And it also takes a trained eye and a trained, you know, experienced professional trainer who's going to go ahead and guide you the right way and put you in the ring with the right people so you're not getting hurt along the way. If you get hurt too soon in your boxing, it may damage you for life. So you want to make sure that when you are boxing with people, you're not getting hurt. You're not getting hurt. You're learning, you know, and it's fun. It has to be fun at the end of the day. If it's not fun, it's not ever going to go away. So, you know, make sure you get around the right people and spar lightly. You don't try to kill each other. You learn. You constantly learn. And then one day before you know it, man, it's going to be like riding a bike. You're not even going to know how you did it. You know, you're just going to wake up one day and say, damn, I know what the hell I'm doing. And I don't even remember how I learned, you know. So just stay consistent with it, you know.
All right, we got the last one coming from Alvaro, who says, I am a southpaw, and everyone always says to focus on stepping to the outside of the opponent's lead leg, but I am short-armed. I'm a short-armed fighter and like to be on the inside. What drills should I be doing to take the inside step to get to the inside?
You know, you want to incorporate a lot of head movement. You know, I mean, you're going to have to work on a lot of head movement. It's hard for me to give you a particular drill on that over the phone. That's something that I'm going to have to see what you're currently doing and create something for you specifically. A lot of times people think that it's a cookie cutter approach and I can just give you a drill and it's just going to automatically work. Sometimes I got to see what's in front of me. So, like, you know, you know, a lot of people say to keep your foot on the outside, and that's absolutely true. When you're boxing the opposite stance, you do want to keep your foot on the outside. But time and time again, you could watch guys like Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones Jr., who used to actually circle the opposite way, you know, and go on the, you know, keep their foot on the inside. Not necessarily on the inside, but let's just say is a righty versus a lefty. The righty's supposed to circle to their left to keep their foot on the outside. You have a lot of guys that circle to the right, and that's, you know, quote unquote, going into the power hand. But at the end of the day, what you don't want to do is get caught in the middle. Getting trapped in the middle is what gets you messed up against a southpaw or any stance. So if you're boxing a southpaw and you do in the southpaw, if the righty beats your foot, I wouldn't let that completely discourage me. I may circle the other way and try to create something from the other side, but not from the middle, if that makes sense. So both sides can work is what I'm trying to say, where you can go left or right against either stance. But what happens is guys get too caught up on one. Everybody knows that a southpaw is going to try to beat your foot, and everybody knows that the righty is going to try to beat the foot. So sometimes you got to give them something else so they don't know what you're really trying to do. So maybe I circle right and then I cut left or something like that. So, you know, you just have to start watching more southpaw versus righty fights, and you'll see that guys don't always circle the way that you're taught to circle in boxing. You have to do both in order to create those openings. So I use a lot of feints. I use my head movement, and I circle both ways and try to, you know, cut an angle where, you know, maybe I can mislead you. Maybe I circle one way, get you think I'm going to go that way, and then I cut the other way real quick and get my shots off. So, you know, just start trying to find more fights where guys box each other and try to study the greats.
Well, Coach Anthony, man, I want to thank you for your time. Obviously, we appreciate you, man. We thank you for the advice. If you want to give out your social media plus your YouTube channel, you can do so at this time. And we would like to get you on more regularly, man. I know now that they listen to this, they'll have a ton more questions for you.
Yeah, man, you can follow me on Instagram at Coach Anthony, and obviously my Coach Anthony Boxing YouTube is Coach Anthony Boxing. I have a website, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, where I have a few instructionals on there. If you're looking to purchase something, I got one on angles. I got one on counter punching, footwork, Philly shell. So check those out, and thank you for all the love and support, guys. I'm going to continue to drop more stuff for you guys for sure.
All right, Coach. Well,
and thanks for having me on.
For sure, man. Much success with Tevin. I know you're in the gym with Tevin now. We got his upcoming fight with Joseph Diaz, man. So keep him sharp. Keep doing what y'all doing over there, and thank you again.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right, ladies and gents, there you have it, Coach Anthony. I wanted to get him on. Obviously, you know, he's a phenomenal, you know, tutorial trainer on YouTube. I mean, he obviously does this in real life, but the fact that he can teach so many people from his YouTube channel is a great thing. And the fact that, you know, he can answer specific questions for the, you know, types of fighters that we have was a fantastic thing, you know, because we have a lot of novice people, and we talked about that anxiety dump, that energy dump when you get in there for the first time. It's something that you got to overcome. But yeah, I want to thank Anthony once again for coming on. I'm going to get on out to Atlanta's own Donel. I'll fight anyone. Fernandez, what it do, champ? It's been a long time.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, Ness? Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to fight again on the 29th.
Nah, man, thank you, man. I'm excited for you and JD. I know you're listening to the shows, so I try my best to motivate JD with his two lackluster performances, letting him know that, you know, the public is expecting more, but that you're also not a pushover, so he needs to train. But have you ever been able to find any footage of him?
I found the first fight I saw when he fought Mide. I think somebody sent it to me in the chat. So I seen the first fight when he fought Mide. I'm not too sure who he fought after that, but he had the white gloves on. He looked quick. He looked fast, but nothing I can't handle.
Man, so talk to me, man. The last time we were together, I watched you spar about 3 rounds with Julius Ndongo, former unified champ. What's been up since then? I noticed that you went on a night run yesterday, so I see you're still training.
Yeah, no, I'm still training. I'm training hard. If anything, I feel like I'm gonna be way better this fight because the last fight, like I had just moved to Atlanta. I didn't even have a gym, so I was just training myself honestly and just running with weights on my hands. So I found a gym out here, Paul Murphy Boxing Gym. I actually have some really good work with this dude Keon Hardiman. He's a national champion at 142 or 132. Well, I'm sorry, 141. We did a couple rounds, and then I got some work with a bigger dude. And it was good work. It definitely showed me what I had to work on. But yeah, I'm just ready. I'll probably get some sparring in next week sometime, and I'm locked in, ready for the 29th.
So I know that you had decided to come to Border Wars because you got the itch, but there's a back end ultimate goal for you of possibly turning professional. Now that you're slowly taking it more seriously and doing training, now you found the gym and you're training with other fighters. Do you still feel that way, or fighting with these fighters who are actually fighters, is that deterring you?
No, it's definitely a goal of mine. I kind of have a 2-year plan set aside where I'm in this program for my day job. So it should if everything goes right, it should put me in a position to be able to save enough money to take a 1-year hiatus just to focus solely on boxing. And the goal is that if we get the victory on the 29th, then I've been talking to Mide about doing a fight out in London in his league.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, man. I want to go there too, bruh. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready for that, man.
Yo, I would have. It would be dope. Myself, you, and my cousin. You already know that's who I roll with. He'll be there for the 29th in my corner, and I definitely want to experience the UK and everything that Mide's events has to offer. They definitely look like they're quality events from what I've seen.
Dude, not just that. It's like fighting under the true lights, the music, the cameras, people buying alcohol, tables, and if you're gonna freeze up, you'll find out there because that's a event, man. So I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
100%, 100%.
I
Me,
was
myself,
telling
and
her,
Mide are
man.
gonna have a serious conversation. In Texas, we've already texted back and forth, so we're just gonna see which date makes the most sense, and definitely not looking over JD, but after that, definitely want to put the full
Well, you're
focus into possibly getting that opportunity.
You're definitely looking over JD, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. Your Border Wars record and your white collar boxing record won't be the same, right? But I mean, in the circle of bragging rights, then they will. So if you beat JD and get a win over there, it's just like, yo, this guy continues to be undefeated no matter where he fights at. But so you did a late run yesterday. You are a shorter guy. We just heard a coach say, heavier, older guys maybe try not to do so much impact running, some low impact training. But how many miles did you run, and is that something you enjoy or something you do because you know you have to do it?
It's a little bit of both. I enjoy it, and I know that I have to do it. Yesterday I ran 5.2 miles. I always try to keep it at a 6:40 to 7:08 minute pace per mile. Just because I come from a track background, so that's just what I'm used to. And it's different when you have you can spar 100 rounds with no mouthpiece and no headgear and nobody in the crowd, but it's that extra mental pressure when you strap in with the mouthpiece, the body protector. There's people out there looking for you. It definitely helps you gas quicker. So I always run a little bit extra just to have that extra in the tank. And I learned that when you gave me the opportunity to go to the Wilder camp, because I thought I was in good shape. And when sparring in Dongo, this dude, I gassed after the third round, and after he sparred me, he went and did 10 rounds on the bag. So it just showed me the level that I needed to be at if I want to take this seriously.
Yeah, man. I mean, the fact that you got in there, without fear and did so well, honestly, obviously he is a professional, But I believe you did well, man. I believe you did well, and I'm expecting great things from you. Unless JD could somehow eclipse you, man, we will see. This is still a test. At the end of the day, it's still a former pro. It's a great name to have on your resume, a great scalp, right? Like, if you really want to be a pro, being able to handle a pro in a glorified sparring match means something. It's a step in the right direction, I believe.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. I really appreciate you for giving me the opportunity, not only to get back in the ring when I was in there in Jersey, but making it happen with the Wilder camp. Like, those guys are hella cool. I still text with Coach Cuz and Chris, and they hit me back like it's nothing. Like, I'm just part of the fam. So that just definitely took my confidence to the next level. And I just hope JD is ready to fight. Like I said, I'm going to be ready. I'm taking all the necessary precautions to be ready, and it's just going to be me, myself, and my cousin in the corner, just like last time, and how it's going to be every time, just ready to do work.
Now, what's your weight like? Because ideally, for my own selfish reasons, I would still love to see you, if you can beat JD, go to the UK, do your thing out there, get even more clout. But if Southside Ducey keeps winning, I would love to see that fight. It's just he's 2 divisions above you, though. So,
I'm not even trying to sound cocky, but I really don't give a shit about the weight. Right now I'm at 144. So, and I think this fight, what is this fight at, 140 or 147? I don't even know.
147.
147. Okay, so that's bet. And I mean, Southside's a really cool dude. I actually worked his corner, but we could definitely, maybe we can meet at a catch weight of, I don't know, 158 or something, whatever isn't. I don't want to crunch him down too much. But we can can make the fight happen. I'm not
but
scared.
You're 144 now. So that means you keep going down.
Yeah, cause like I said, I came in, I think the last fight at 146, but remember that I didn't have a trainer for about 2 weeks because I was just relocating to Atlanta. I just moved here, maybe like a week and a half ago before I made the trip up there. So, yeah, 144, and to be honest, I feel like I could definitely go down if need be to 135. But if I was able to probably hit the weights and get maybe some whey protein, I could go up. It's crazy to have this new person in my life too that's like been really motivating me. She's added an extra motivating factor to everything. She came to the gym. She's hella cool. She's like looking up supplements. So I feel like with her in my corner and taking the right precaution, taking the right steps, I could definitely get up in the weight or down.
Oh shit, JD's in the chat who says, I'm ready, bro. First time I'm taking this serious. Then he comes back and says 145 today. So y'all both losing weight. Y'all both, because he was 54 in LA, fat boy. Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. JD, I'm happy to hear you taking it serious. I'm taking it serious too. I'm trying to make our fight of the night. So come as ready as possible. I'm gonna come as ready as possible, and we gonna put on a good fight.
Oh shit, Southside Ducey said I had to eat more to get too little. I could make 147 and share the ring with Donel and JD. Listen, Donel, man, I want to thank you because I got to get to the gym. I got some other fighters to get to, but we already know
you good.
We already know your name, man. Donel outfight anybody, Fernandez, so you ain't got to even answer Southside. Southside can meet you. You going to make it happen. We going to go out to, I believe this is Cruz.
This is Marvin.
Oh, shit, the tank. My bad. That's what I get for trying not to use the list. What's going on, champ? Loving the video, man. Yo, let me tell you, because you see, I'm not no hater. I swear to God, when you dropped the little clip, just the clip in the Border Wars chat of you doing the power, I turned to my coach. I'm like, see this bullshit? Come on, man. We got to get better chemistry. How him and his coach doing that shit like that? And it's like, boom, boom, bah, boom, boom, bah, boom, boom, bah. I'm like, God damn, Marvin looking like a fucking machine, man. You looking good, champ. You looking good, bro. I'm fucking, yo, honestly, you look good. You look good. I'm sure Sal changed his mind. All that, oh, he only got a right hand. That left hook looking good.
Yeah, man. I just started camp. I guess you could say officially this Monday, and I know before that I've been running every now and then, but now it's like officially started. Diet is on point. I'm running every day. You know, after work, I'm running every day, 2 miles, at least 2 miles, and I'm trying to get it in, man. I've worked with Nate before, so I guess we kind of do have that chemistry. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I love the shit talking from Sal. He thinks I only got a right hand. All this shadow boxing and what he calls butt workouts isn't gonna work. But he's gonna see. He's gonna see. He knows what he's getting himself into, so he's gonna see.
Yo, Tank, can you hear me, cuz?
What's up? What's up?
Yo, it's Robert the Genius in the building. So, Tank, man, you just dropped that.
I see you out there with Ness.
Yeah, man, you just dropped that fire clip. You got the chat buzzing. You got Patreon buzzing. How'd you come up with the music for that? It's got like a early 2000s flavor. I like that.
Yeah, well, I gotta give a shout out to Eddie. He's the one that helped me out. Actually, I did that workout in the morning. I think it was like around 11 or 12, and I was there. I think it was about 2 hours, which is like 45, maybe a little longer because it was raining. About maybe almost close to an hour away from my house. So I went up there, did my workout. Just got home, took a shower, and then went straight to work. So, I hit up Eddie, and he helped me out and put the clip together. So shout out to Eddie. He sent it to me just like that. And I was like, yo, I love the music. That shit is dope. I wasn't expecting it, but, that shit was dope.
Right, and Eddie, honorary member at Team Texas. How'd that come about?
If I remember, he stayed with us. He stayed with us at the Airbnb in Jersey. I don't know if something happened with his flight. It got delayed, or I don't know. Something happened with his flight. But me, Joseph, and Matt, we were like, hey, bro, you can come stay with us for whatever reason. I think he was stuck at the airport or something. And because of his flight, I think he would have had to stay the night at the airport. But, we just told him that he could come chill with us at the Airbnb and stay the night there so he wouldn't have to do that. And we all just, kicked it. Eddie, super dope guy. And we just, honorary team member.
Yo, do you train with anyone else who's involved with Border Wars, any of the other Team Texas members? Y'all live close or whatever?
Oh, nah, man. Most part, I would train with Cruz when he's busy. He's busy too, just like I'm busy. So we would try to get it in at 2, 3 in the morning. But for the most part, it would just be Cruz, Matt, and Joseph. They stay probably like 5 hours away from me. But I did go in last camp. I did go up there to Plainview to get some work with them. I'll probably end up doing it again now that they have a gym. So
Tank, there's a rumor floating around that Team Texas is gonna come to the event in matching white cowboy hats. Do you want to comment on that?
Lies.
That's lies right there.
That's lies.
Okay, you're probably saving that for the big reveal at Border Wars. I'm not going to try to spoil that for you. So, being that we're all members of the chat, we see that Sal has a home gym now, so he can train 7 days a week, and it seems like he's pretty dialed in. What do you think about that? You think that's just for show? You think this dude's really taking it serious? How serious are you taking it?
I'm taking it hella serious. Not just, and it's not just for Sal, to make a statement with Sal, but it's more for me. Ultimately my goal was always to get to 185. Coming from close to 250, working my way down. Obviously that doesn't happen overnight. So, it's been a journey so far, and because of my schedule, because everything that I have to go through to cut that weight, it's taking a little longer than I wanted, but ultimately the goal is to get to 185. So February 29th, I'll be at 185. So I'm definitely taking it serious. First of all, for me, to make that weight, and secondly, to defend the belt at home.
Is this your mandatory versus Sal, or is this your voluntary?
Nah, he's a voluntary.
Voluntary. Who do you see in the landscape at 185 that you think you might be facing at the next Border Wars, or the one after that, assuming you get through Sal?
It's hard to tell because right now there's not really anybody there. You had Ant, you got Sal, you got Cruz, and you got Jose. I already got through Ant. I'm gonna get through Sal. I can't find my own cousin in Cruz.
You're calling out Jose right now. Wasting
I
your
mean,
breath
I
like
could
that?
be pretty. I guess pretty much. So we all know he's not gonna fight me. So I guess we'd have to wait and see. Maybe the Ant rematch. That's a possibility. If I'm sure he still wants it, but
yeah,
we just have to wait and see.
This is Robert the Genius, by the way. Ness is about to hop back on, but I just want to ask one more question now, or just kind of make like a statement. So a lot of times you get shit in the chat. People say that you have just a big right hand, but I got to tell you, after watching that footage, it looks like your left hook is really tight, really sharp. And, I think you're more than just a one-punch guy. I think you got, at least these two bangers. And what do you think is your best weapon?
For sure. Sometimes you go in the fight and you don't do exactly what you plan on doing. You do what you got to do to win. And sometimes my right hand is what's helped me come out with those victories. But there's definitely more weapons in the arsenal. I'm gonna show them come February 29th, and I'm excited. I'm ready for everybody to see that. I'm ready for Sal to see that I'm not just a one-punch guy, and he'll know.
Well, Sal, Marvin, man, I want to thank you. Obviously, I had to go walk the dogs, but Robert the Genius, former co-host, it sounds like he did a good job. Like we both agree, great left hook. We got a couple other fighters we got to get to, champ. First and foremost, man, happy everything is going well for you, man. I know you suffered some tragedies in life, but like a true champ, suffered that adversity, bounced back, and looking better than ever, man. I think that was a fantastic thing you did, was hooking up with that trainer. Let me get out to Anthony Edwards, the Queen City Cobra. Who's fighting? Who's frozen out? Is Edwards frozen out? What's up, Edwards?
Man, you already know what it is. It's always hard for me to get a little fight. But, the word is Jose wants to fight. And his little I told him, initially. But, I would like collateral because his little stipulation was, oh, yeah, you beat me. Oh, I'll pay for your flight to Canada. Hey, bro. I'm like, God. No. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll see. If he's serious, if he's listening, it's whatever. But he need to pay collateral. Like I said, I ain't about to drop 20 pounds just to, for him not to show up, me not to have anybody to fight. You know what I'm saying? So we will see. I'd like to, before I really get deep in this camp, you know what I'm saying? I can sit my ass on the couch. My knees hurt. You feel me? But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. I was going to. I didn't get a chance to hop at Ducey, since he ain't have a fight, he was talking that cash shit the week before. I was about to say, well, I'll meet you at 68, young man, and we can see how bad you are. You know what I'm saying? But I guess he got him a little fight now. But we shall see each other eventually. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's about it, man. I guess I'll be there. You know, hopefully Jose ain't being typical Jose this time, and maybe we can actually get a fight out of him. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. We'll see. That was a good interview from Coach Ant. That was cool. Yeah, man, I need to get my ass off the couch, man. I'm sick of being on the couch.
So wait, so you're not even training,
about 190 something. I mean, I just started back, but shit, I'm about 195 or something like that, man. It happens, but I couldn't do nothing over the last few months, man. My knee and my shoulder was just kind of fucked up, so I was just kind of chilling. And you know the holidays, but for me, it ain't no thing. I'll drop 20 pounds in a few weeks. I can do that. But again, I need to know, is it gonna be worth the time? You know what I'm saying? Fucking with Jose, it ain't never worth it. You know, so we'll see.
Yeah, man.
But I doubt you.
It's unfortunate, man, because we definitely want you on the card. Now, there is a dude out there, but I don't know if you want to fight him because he's got 6 amateur fights, 3 wins, 3 losses. His name is For Sure, and he's from Texas. I've asked him not to sign up because, you know, we're at the point where the card has 10 fights already. I don't want you to sign up if I can't get you a fight because that first sign-up fee is non-refundable. So I got plenty of people that are just like out there that are willing but haven't signed up. I don't know if you want novices, like, and by novice I mean people that, you know, no one from Border Wars knows yet until they get a fight. Because there's a couple guys that I would just have to contact them and see. Like I said, the dude from Texas, he's already from Texas, but he's got 3 amateur wins and 3 amateur losses. So, you know, he probably, you know, I don't know. But he fights from 154 to 170, so he's not like he's that big. But he's willing. And then I got, let me see who else. There's so many, bro. I got to check, like, all these messages, you know. But we definitely got another 68-pounder. But that's, you know, that's a lot of weight, right? For you, what's that? You say you 195 right now?
Close to 30. Yeah, close to 30 pounds. What is this? 6 weeks, 7 weeks out. I know I can drop 20. I don't know about 30.
Now, Rel wants to sign up, but he's a heavyweight, and he's like a small heavyweight in the terms of weight. I think he's only like 210. You 195, but I think he said he's 6'3". That might be too tall for you. And a division outside of you know, few divisions out.
Look, keep his ass a heavyweight.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm just again. I don't want anybody to sign up if I can't get them nothing, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what Jose talking about. I'll be around and shit. If worst case scenario, you know, I come up there, you know, spar a couple cats or whatever, smack somebody up a little bit, stare at Marvin until he say yeah to the rematch. You know, that's. I guess that's the best I could do if Jose ain't trying to really fight. You know what I'm saying? Well, even you get film of the other cats too. See if they, you know, if they got a little film, I'll check them out. You know? But yeah, I guess I'll be around. You know?
All right. Well, let me go ahead and get to some of these other callers. I want to thank you, Mr. Edwards, Queen City Cobra. We're going out to Rel in New Mexico. Rel, what's up?
Good morning, TBV. Good morning, Border Wars. Hey, I just want to let all the heavyweights know that I'm coming. Like, I don't want to be iced out in this. I don't want nobody to ice me out because they're intimidated by my height. I'm working with Hector the Hurricane Munoz. He fought Sean Porter at 160. He fought Jamal Charlo at 160 back in the day. And he going to be my coach for the camp.
And how old are you, Rel?
I'm 28.
Ooh, young 28. Guy. 28. And how long you been training?
I start training actually on January 25th. I just want to say,
But you
I've
never
been going to school.
wait. But
I had dropped out of school my senior year, and this year I had got my high school diploma, so I'm proud of myself for that. I got it, and I started training next week with Hector. We close. I trained with him before, back when we worked at Johnny Tapia gym.
Wait, you said Hector Munoz, the dude with the gun tattoo?
Yeah, Hector Hurricane. Hector
All
Hurricane.
right, Munoz. Yeah, Munoz though, right? Last name Munoz?
Yeah, Munoz.
Oh yeah,
Munoz.
with the gun tattoo on his back.
Yeah, he'll be training me, and I just want all the Border Wars fighters to know that whoever heavyweight, not you, Ness. I mean, well, if I know you ain't gonna give me a title shot right away, so I'm talking to all the heavyweights right now. I'm coming. Don't ice me out. My name Real. I'm born and raised in Detroit, but I live in New Mexico. So I got a good team with Hector Munoz, and the longer y'all make me wait, I'm just gonna get better. So
Rel, so you've never fought before?
Never. I never fought. I fought amateur a couple times. I told you I fought at Socorro, New Mexico, on an amateur card, which wasn't even recorded. And then I sparred a couple of pros and a couple UFC fighters, like UFC contenders. I fought Frank the Tank Lester, Donald Sanchez.
Man, you gotta submit that tape. Shit, we want the tape. But listen, I don't have any heavyweights available unless Doomsday is out. It's not for sure, so don't sign up yet. Because again, I don't wanna take your money. But Doomsday might have got.
I mean, but the thing is this, Ness, you told me that the general admission is mandatory, so I still pay the $79.
Yeah, but that general admission is mandatory to start finding you a fight. But since we already 7 weeks out and the card is full, I don't even want to take that from anybody. I ain't no thief, you feel me? But I know you willing, so you already reached out to me. I got your number, and I think you hit me up on IG. But I should find out from Doomy what's up with his hand, because he hurt his hand yesterday. We just don't know if it's just he hurt it or he hurt it. You know what I mean? So you might can fill in.
Can I still just pay the general admission just to come see the fighters?
Oh, you want to come? You want to come? Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. All right, so go ahead and do that, and we'll keep you on the back burner for Israel Weber just in case.
And one more thing, Ness. I want to thank, if Deontay Wilder, the champ, listening, I want to thank him for answering my Patreon question yesterday. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, champ. I tried to call in yesterday. I don't know what happened to the line. I'm a ringer, but I tried to call. Thank you for answering my question, champ. Thanks, TBV, for covering the best footage. Thank you, Nestor, for all that you do. This is because of you that we get to have this outlet and this platform, and I appreciate that shit a lot. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that yesterday. I don't know what happened, but appreciate that shit.
You know, that's probably on me because, like I said, it was just a few days ago that we made that I made the correlation between Rel and Terrell Harris. So that's why you never got your ringer status. Now, I'm going to just double check that, but then I know it's you, and I'll give you your ringer status. I do apologize. That was on me.
It's okay. On Skype, I'm Terrell Harris. On a blog talk, I'm Real.
Yeah.
I tried to switch my Skype to Real. I just don't know how to do it. Patreon, I'm Terrell Harris too. So.
All good. So listen, champ. First thing we need you to do is submit that footage so we can start promoting you, because Israel Weber might have to take you if Doomsday is out. You know, so he's going to want to see what you look like. So please do that. I want to thank you, obviously, for calling in. We're going to go down to heavyweight. Oh, man, you won an award and you had a bunch of nominations. Santiago in California, man. How are you, first and foremost? And, yeah, man, Happy New Year, brother. Good to have you on the show. How are you, bro?
Happy New Year to everybody on the show. Good to be on today. Yeah, man, I'm honored that I made contention for some awards. at the final poll results and everything. It's an honor, and I'm happy to call in and just say that this Border Wars looks to be shaping up to be quite an interesting one. Definitely looking forward to the main event with Marvin, a fellow Saudi, and Iron Sal, a fellow Californian. Both guys, in my opinion, are like top of their skill set right now, with Marvin showing some great improvements, Sal having shown just exactly what he's capable of in his fight with Tony, and it's just going to be interesting. Plus, new crop of fighters to check out, see what's available, see what's around, and it's just going to be exciting. If all goes well on my end, I definitely look forward to being out there in Texas as in attendance.
Oh, that's great to hear, man, because I already had questions from Genius right now. Like, yo, ask him, is he at least going to be in the building? So, man, it's always beautiful to have you there, man. You've been at so many, and you've attended appreciation nights, man. You're part of the family. How's recovery? Because I know you were in rehab, right? I checked your Instagram.
Yeah. I got my injection like December for my spine, and they gave me the good stuff because I don't remember knocking out or coming to. I just remember finding myself in the wheelchair. So I'm doing good for the most part. Still not cleared to go to the gym. I'm supposed to find that out in 2 weeks when I go for my follow-up. Whether or not I'll need physical therapy on top of that. So if all goes well, I should be good to go. No more issues because, it sucks not being able to do a lot, doctor's orders and all that crap. But things are good for right now. Just, keeping busy, working, dealing with bills, the real world stuff, and just keeping up with everybody else, on Border Wars, the boxing voice, the boxing community, keeping touching base with Fern Gully because I know you guys know that if he gets cleared for his time off, that he plans to participate, and if he does, then I'll be in his corner for sure.
For sure. Yeah, he's been telling me he just emailed HR. He's trying to get that final word back. So we wanted to know which of the nominations did you feel most proud to be a category in? Was it Fight of the Year, Most Improved? You had actually two Fight of the Year nominations with yourself and SuperMEX and yourself and Mofongo. And then you also had Most Improved nomination where you actually won because you and Sal had the same exact percentage. So we got two winners. I mean, excuse me, I keep calling Marvin. I'm sorry. That's because I know you dialed in on him, champ. I keep calling Marvin Sal. But yeah, where you and Marvin, you won a fucking category with Marvin for Most Improved Fighter, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely proud of both nominations. I was completely shocked when I saw what was up. And with me and SuperMEX, it was hands down probably one of the roughest fights that I've ever been in. You already know that, like, entering that fight, I was sick the morning of that fight. So for me to have been able to go in there and give it my best Gennady Golovkin impression was something to definitely be proud of. And me and Marvin, Marvin with his journey through the weight loss, getting down from heavyweight to 185, and then me with my boxing ability, two Salvis, even though I'm half guated too. It's something, so to Marvin, congratulations to winning Most Improved Fighter too, because it's definitely something I never would have seen myself ever being around or doing. And it really makes you think about all those times when you first picked up the gloves and actually started practicing yourself to be at this position where people are all like, yeah, man, you made contention, it's something.
Man, Santiago, man, I just got notice from Joseph that you guys also were nominated for Round of the Year. So like you definitely got mad nominations, and then you get your award, man. So I just wanna say, man, we thank you, for signing up and continuing to produce, action packed fights, bro. It's like a promoter's dream to know that he could call on a fighter and that fighter is gonna come to fight and is gonna produce, a fight that is gonna be a fight of the year candidate that people are actually gonna vote on, man. So definitely honored to watch you on the cards and watch your development. We'll be pleased to hand that award to you come February 29th for most improved fighter because I believe that you deserve it. Some of those fights we believe that you definitely should have gotten the win. So I just want to see you dig deep, man. I want to see you maybe turn some of that fat into muscle so that you can't let the judges take it away from you. I still want to get that award for promoter of the year and get you the Santiago versus fucking Zach fight. Zach wanted it this time and you fucking hurt, but we're going to make sure that we keep praying to the boxing gods because I believe that's the one, bro, where you get all the fucking glory. You go in there with the dude that's fucking looking like a Zeus god and you fucking put him on his ass. And, you get that first win. And once that first win, it's like a fucking domino, brother. It's a domino effect. You get the first win, and they all just start coming. But listen, Santiago, I want to thank you, obviously, for calling in. We got a couple more fighters we got to get to. I know we got one more question from Rob for you. What was that you wanted from him?
Which fight did he think?
He wants to know which fight of the year candidate did you think was a better fight? You versus Mofongo or you versus SuperMEX? Which one did you prefer?
I personally voted for most improved. I actually voted for Marvin because I thought that he was more deserving than I was. But for fight of the year, I definitely thought that my fight with SuperMEX was the one to really be considered just because, I was facing a guy that outweighed me by almost 80 pounds. I was sick in that fight. And, the craziest thing being the fact that, neither of us got a standing 8 count. We basically went ball to the walls and just gave it our best. And by the time we were done, damn, man, you could not imagine the things you would be capable of doing when you feel yourself that weak. So definitely thank you to everybody that voted for our fight, that voted for me and Marvin. It's a privilege and an honor to be considered for something like that. And, if everything goes well with Ferngully and he gets a time off, maybe I can actually finally put some merit to when UNESC once called me TBV's Trainer of the Year.
For sure, champ. Listen, I got to ask, though, what do you think about this heavyweight division? I mean, because you can obviously still meet a weight goal, get down, because, no disrespect, but you're a chubby weight, not a heavyweight, right? Which means you're not that tall and you're not that heavy. Because we got a lot of new signups. Israel Weber, heavyweight. Obviously, Hell Rel from New Mexico, 28-year-old heavyweight. We got Morocco Joe, heavyweight. We got myself, obviously, but you know that. But no, the newest one is Bishop, southpaw, 46-year-old, 6'3", 200-pound heavyweight. His footage is out there. He's looking crazy young. I mean, what do you think of all these new heavyweight signups? We just got a huge influx.
Hey, 185, 168, and heavyweights are starting to look good. You're getting a good influx of newcomers and new fighters. Depending where these guys are spending, you might find them heading down to 185. You might see them holding steady at the low 200s. I imagine that for the time being, I might find myself back at the low 200s too, like I did against Chris Garcia, where I was 211. I feel like that's where I was solid, not too heavy, but also not too light. I felt comfortable. So it's going to be interesting to see where everybody goes, all these newcomers, where they find themselves when they're done with their 7-8 week training camp, because you never know. Maybe some of these guys may actually be able to go down a little bit further than they think they can, or maybe they're just comfortable and capable of maintaining steady that weight, because case in point, look at Deontay Wilder, 6'7", 210, 215 pounds on average yourself, Ness. When you're in shape, you're like 6'6", 6'5", and you're usually like at a good weight, like 219, 215.
Yeah, man. I mean, I didn't like it when I was that low. For LA, I was 216. That was no good for me. I think between 226 and 245 is perfect if I can get it. Vladimir Klitschko, right? Like I'm 1 inch shorter, I think, than Klitschko. I think he was 6'6", and he was 6'6", 245 with a six-pack, man. I can never get a six-pack. If I'm at 245, I look fat. I don't know how he did it, but, I'm going to work at it. But listen, Santiago, I got to get to 160-pound champ. Actually, damn, there's so many questions I want to ask you, man, before I let you go. I know it's early, and maybe it's not the right time to answer, but do you want a rematch with any of your 2 rematches, or do you want to see the landscape and maybe get something new on the resume?
I think right now with the new additions, I'd like to check out the landscape, see how everyone plays out. I know Joseph. I think he has a fight set, right?
Yes, he does.
I think
he's taking on one of the new guys. He's taking on one of the new guys in Morocco Joe.
Right, and does Dr. Mofongo have a fight too, or are you still looking for him?
No, Mofongo can't make it. He's in Long Island, won't be able to make it to Texas. But
so I would actually be.
But he and Bishop have been negotiating in the background and possibly have agreed to a fight. I know that Mofongo said he would give Bishop the fight, but if the Eddie rematch was available, he would take it. I just,
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I'm probably going to check out the landscape, see how everything plays out. Definitely wishing all the best to Morocco Joe and SuperMEX on their fight. Hopefully they give us something good. And, depending how everything goes, if I'm still able to get the Zach fight, then you are.
That's fine. Oh, sorry about that.
You already know. No worries, man. But yeah, definitely if I'm able to still get the Zach fight for when I come back, then that's the fight I definitely want. I know that's the fight that you wanted me for, since the second Border Wars, third Border Wars. So
we're gonna get you that fight, bro. We're gonna get you that fight, man. God willing, I get to have this meeting in Canada, and we fuck around and go to Canada, man, because it's cheaper for Americans to fly over there. You know what I mean? So if all goes well next week and conversations are well and we can get that going, we will definitely make the move to Canada, where Americans, their dollar is like $1.30 for every dollar, right? So we gain like 30 cents. And, I got a lot of little perks that we're going to unveil after this meeting, and maybe we'll bring you to Santiago too, Zach. You know what I mean? But let me get to 160-pound champ, WBC champ, Southside Deucey. What up?
Hey, what's up, Ness, man? And first of all, man, salute to you, man. Like, we just had Coach Anthony on this joint. Yo, man, that's like through the roof, man. So I want to salute to you for giving us that, bro. Like, it's one of my favorite celebrity personalities, I guess, if you want to call him that, to follow. You know what I mean? Like, he got so much knowledge and shit, and I be learning different little tricks and for a lot of footwork shit from off his YouTube. And I take it back into the gym and ask my coach about it. And my coach is always astonished, like, yo, where is you getting this shit from? And I never tell him, you know what I mean? But it be some little things like that, you know what I mean? So salute to you for even bringing that to us off the couch potato ass niggas, so get back in shape and feel like we doing something, man. So thank you for that.
Nah, man, thank you, brother, for noticing, man. I'm just trying to make us all better, bro. We need all the tips we can get.
Big facts. Hey, I really don't got too much to say, man. Like, I was listening to the show last week, and it was a
90 seconds.
A heavyweight called up to the show, said he was signing up and he wanted Southside Duke. Man, listen, bro, the cloud chasing got to stop around here, all right? That shit got to stop, bro. I don't know who it was, but if you listening to my voice, you sound stupid. I'm going to tell you that on the air. And if you come to the Border Wars event, I'll tell you in your face, you sound stupid.
You don't remember the name? I don't remember the name. I don't remember
Nah,
who
man,
said
I
it.
just know. 60 seconds. I just know he was like one of the last calls, man. He called up, said he was gonna sign up. He was like, "Are you walking around at like 210, 215?" And when
Oh,
you
you
said it,
talking
you was
about
asking a
Rel. You
question,
talking
so
about
I don't
Rel.
think. So that was real.
Yeah, that was Rel. He called you out?
Nah, real. You sound stupid. Yeah, man. Go back and listen to the. See, you didn't catch it because you started asking him a question and he kind of said it at the same time as you. But you know, whenever I see the bat signal in the air, I reply. I see the bat signal. You know what I mean? You 210, I'm 160, and I still get in there with you, bro. If you want some work, I'm the guy for you. But you do sound stupid, sir.
I mean, listen, maybe you motivated him. He didn't know you was not in his division. Did I tell him you was not in his division?
10 seconds. Like I said, you started asking a question, so I don't even think you heard him when he said, "I'll take Southside Deucey." Like, bro, you sound crazy. You say you'll take anybody, but then you call out a man 50 pounds lighter than you, and I'm gonna still give you that work. Don't get it twisted. I just wanted to point out the fact that you sound dumb as hell on this phone. You know what I mean? And with that being said, bro, like I'm excited about this event because this last week I had no inspiration to even train hard as fuck, to keep it all the way honest. I was at the gym yesterday and a young guy, 17, 18, came up from Atlanta, Georgia. Look, young kid, nice, man. And we got in there and worked, and it just brought back so much fire and hunger, and you know what I mean? Like, I can't express how I feel right now, bro. Like, how I felt the first Border Wars don't match to this at all. I really feel like a lot of y'all callers and listeners been trying to play me, been trying to downplay my skill set. Like, I don't got no skills. Y'all not putting my name in the stratosphere that it belongs and deserves.
Bruh, you was in 3
So with that being
awards.
said,
What you talking about?
So with that being said, I'm not giving nobody no more chances for nothing. Whenever I see you in the ring and you standing across from me, I'm going to try to kill you. Like, legit, I'm coming to try to rip your head off your shoulders, bro. And that's the energy I'm bringing every sparring session, every time I hit the road to run. All I see is faces that I want to park, bro. All of y'all can get it. That's exactly how I feel, bro.
Yo, I don't know why you feel that way when you was...
Until I get the respect on my name that I feel like it deserves, I'm going stupid hard in the paint, bro. Stupid hard.
Yo, I don't know if you hear me, but I said I don't know how you feel that way when you was nominated for so many awards and you won so many awards. I think you won 3 awards, right?
Holy shit, are you for real?
Yeah, we just went over it. You know, I smoke like a motherfucker, but let me see here. Most improved fighter you not in, but round of the year you definitely won. Fighter of the year, let me double check though. But round of the year, let me double check. Round of the year, yeah, Southside Deucey, that's you. 60% of the votes was for you on that one. And then...
Oh, man, that's dope. That's stupid dope.
And then you got Fighter of the Year, I believe, right? Or was that Marvin? That's Marvin? Oh, Newcomer of the Year you got. And what else? Was it Fighter of the Year? Let me double check. I think Fighter of the Year too. Nah, I think he is Fighter of the Year because I seen Boxing Therapy. Oh, no, you know what? Fighter of the Year, SuperMEX. How the fuck? That's right.
SuperMEX.
Santiago
I ain't
won.
mad at that.
Santiago
SuperMEX
won
and
2
I
awards.
love
He
that
won
fight.
Round of the Year. Was it Round of the Year or Most Improved? No, he won Most Improved and Fight of the Year. Okay. Well, you won Newcomer and Round of the Year. So you got 2 awards
I won
too.
an award. I mean,
2 of them.
I appreciate that. That's definitely motivation.
Yeah,
but
so we'll give you
that's
those.
definitely motivation. I don't
We're
want
gonna
to
give you
gloss over that
those
at all, but
on February. We're gonna make sure to give you those physically.
But I just feel like it's way too much like willingness to call me out. Like everybody that calls show want to call me out, and I feel like I don't know what y'all see. Y'all see a weakness or something in me. Y'all see something that y'all can exploit. You think because you tall or you got more pounds on your body than me that you can do something with me. I don't care about none of that. About none of y'all. I don't like none of y'all. None of you. And that's that's just how I feel, bro. That's just what's fueling my rage right now. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all. I'm gonna contact you a little later on this to rap with you real quick. And I'll see y'all at the next Border Wars event, man. I don't got really too much rapping to say, but I guarantee you, I'm coming to bring pain to Ambrose or whoever the fuck I'm fighting. So it is what it is, man. Y'all stay dangerous.
I love that he called him Ambrose. You know, Ambrose went dark. Mr. Ambrose went dark. He in the chat. He all paid up, so you ain't got to worry about that. But he went dark to, I guess, train or focus on you, man. But listen, we got to everybody. I want to thank everybody. This went a little longer. My boy Rob and I are trying to get to the gym. I want to thank everybody that tuned in, man. Catch us on the next one, Border Wars, and a new episode of Unguarded should be dropping once one of these busy guys get their time. Israel, you too, contact me when you're free. Morocco Joe, when you're free. You know, we still got to do a bunch. Peace.